Pray I'm coming through loud and clear, loud and clear. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Sham, Dash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah is the Father's name. That means He is, He exists. Yahawashi is the Son's name. That means He saves, He delivers. And Dash means the Spirit that's holy. That's how you say Holy Spirit in Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, or also known as the Lashawan Kodash. That's the holy tongue, the holy language. Second of all, I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone, also known as GMS, that rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. And shalom to the Lord, so for elect 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazat back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah Bashim, Yahawashi Bashim Dash. This one will be in transit, right? Until I get to my destination. But I'm gonna hit a couple scriptures on the way there, right? And I will title it "Declaring the End from the Beginning." Okay, declaring the end from the beginning. Now, looking at everything that's taking place, okay, with Esau showing, being the utmost prideful devil that he is, all right, in these times, messing with the wrong one, okay, with, Iran, and everything that's transpiring with that, the Strait of Hormuz being blocked, and now Trump talking about he's going to do a blockade to block the Strait of Hormuz being blocked. All right, and then you have China just sailing right by it without no repercussions. They don't care. They're basically saying America do something. You know what I'm saying? And Russia along the same line sending warships. All right, so everything is taking place. Now, what is this? Yahawah the Father has declared this from the beginning. He has already declared it, and He told us that this was going to be. Declare as a declaration. He spoke it. He had His prophets write it down, right? He put it, these spiritual miracles, people let it, speak it into existence. But that's what the Father did, okay? He already had it spoke into existence. All right, you go back to Genesis, the first chapter. Everything that happened, all right, when Yahawashi and Halalyam was creating everything, they spoke it into existence. Okay, so words are extremely powerful. Now, if the Most High speaks and He says He wants this to happen, then this is going to happen, right? Now, see, brother got the precept. Hey, yep, you already got it. That's the base precept for this, okay? And we're going to get it when we get to the next stoplight, But it's just really, this is cutting into, if you think it's free will or any of that, that's not the case. Because if the Most High is declaring something, then it's going to come to be. So how do you have a free will in that? You have no say-so in the matter. You're just a part of the program. And shalom to my brother Karam War, Yahawah Bashim, Barak. Right? Isaiah 42:9, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. How does the Most High tell you of them? But through His prophets, through His men, His servants. Amos 3:6 and 7. He gives His secrets. He reveals His secrets unto His servants. Hebrews 1:1 and 2, right? He spoke of you through His prophets. All right, that's how He spoke of you in old. And then He spoke of you through the Son, which the Son is also a prophet, right? So He sends men to come in His stead. Yahawashi said, I came in my Father's name. I came speaking what my Father told me to speak. This is not my message. This is my Father's message. So it's a direct connection, to serve. You're serving an individual, so you know what the Master wills for that house. This earth, this universe is the house. Everything in existence is the house of Yahawah. Okay? So we as servants know the will of our Master, and we're coming forth to tell you the will of the Master. Now let's say you don't want to abide by the will of the Father. Then guess what? You're gonna get kicked out of the house. Okay? There has to be some changes in order, because you're not being a good guest, right? That's all you are, is a guest. You're a guest. Even in the vessel that you're in, you're a guest in that. Now the Father can take your spirit straight up out of that vessel, and it'll come back and be with him. Okay? As it says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Alright, getting the next one. And this is the one I wanted, Isaiah 46 and 10, the water. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So you know, and that's everybody. We are at the will, we are at the mercy of the Father. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you're serving and you're moving the correct way, in the proper way, and you're doing what his will is. You're doing what is pleasing to him in his eyes. Right? I sat back yesterday and I prayed that, hey, I pray what I'm doing is correct and proper, and that you're looking at me as worthy, and you know what I'm saying? Because you may think you're doing something and it may not be. Alright? So that's part of examining yourself and being like, yo, is this aligned with Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi? Am I on the right path? Am I doing what the Father say? And how would you know? You go back to the laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? You look at that. If you are following the word, the standard that he gave for you to follow, then, hey man, you can sleep better at night. You know, you don't have a guilty conscience. So that's it's verification, in a sense, confirmation. And then it's confirmation and verification through the way that the Most High deals with us. He shows up, he protects us, he provides for us, right? It's truth. That right there is a main confirmation. All right, but that does not mean that you are of the elect. Okay, so you can't take that thing and be high-minded, but it gives you confidence, because the truth gives you confidence, right? It lifts you up. It sustains you. You know what I'm saying? It takes you to another level than a simpleton that's going to church on Sunday, right? Let's see what else the brother got. Hosea 12 and 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Exactly. That's what we do, man. Okay? You see, what's the brother's page? GMS Strictly Testimonies, right? I think that's the brother down in Georgia. Okay, like posting all these dreams and things that, you know, people around the world are having, because the Most High is pouring out his spirit and he's giving dreams. As it says, your daughter shall dream dreams, you know, your men shall see visions. So that's what's happening. I had a dream last night. I ain't gonna go too much in depth into it, but it was like this it was kind of like Amos the 5th chapter, where I was walking and in forest, and I saw my son. He was reading a book. He was just chilling peacefully, reading a book by a tree. And I'm walking up to him, and I see him, and then I see in the distance this elephant. And this elephant was just running, just, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then it's running like it's panicking. And then by the elephant is a black bear. And then I see a tiger, and the tiger was like trying to get these fish. And then the tiger looked towards us, and it started running at us. And I'm telling him, hey, go in the house, boom. You know, and then the tiger came in, it tried to attack me, and I had to fight a tiger. Now, I know a little bit about tigers, bro. You ain't about to fight no tiger, okay? That's the biggest cat of the cat family, right? Bigger than a lion. And it's far stronger, and it's, you know, when it got its eye on you, it's going to be like that. But somehow I survived, you know, through fighting the tiger, and it was like, at the end, it was like playing with me. You know what I'm saying? It was weird, but I don't even really understand what the dream meant. At this point in time, I'm still lingering on it. But like we saying, like, the Most High is pouring out dreams and things of that nature. But another part of the dream was, I was fighting the tiger, and I got back to the house still fighting the tiger. Everybody else was acting like it wasn't even there. You know? So I guess at the point of the dream I would see is that the rest of the world is like, they don't care. They can't even understand that danger is on the door. You know? They can't understand that danger is on the doorstep, but we see the fight and we're going through it, right? And that's what prophets do. That's what, this truth opens you up to. Seeing the danger, understanding that these are those times where everybody else is in a complacent spirit of it's all good. It's no tiger at the door. It's all good. We just going about our daily lives. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got out of that dream. And let's keep it going. Luke 1:7. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Exactly. Okay? So, going back to Genesis, the, third chapter. Okay? And I'm going to get it. When Adam and Eve was in the garden, okay? And it said the Lord was looking for them and calling out to them. That was the prophets. The Most High wasn't coming directly to them because where were they at? Where's the garden? That's Jerusalem, okay? Eden is the earth. So that was simply the prophets going and seeking Adam and Eve and really the Adamites in general to, check on them and then really had to rebuke them, all right? Give them the message that Yahawah had instilled in them to let them know, hey, you went off, right? You shouldn't have went after the philosophies and the doctrines of these heathens, right? But that's the motto of us, man, of our people a lot. And it was meant for us to go off that 2nd Ezra 4:30, that evil seed had been sown into Adam. So the Most High sent, he declared the end from the beginning. He put the seed in Adam. He knew Adam was going to go off. And then he sent the prophets to go redirect and correct it, right? So it's never you can't surprise Yahweh. You can't surprise the Most High. It ain't whatever you think in your mind, those vain imaginations, okay? Why do the heathens imagine a vain thing? It's not no surprise. It's nothing new under the sun, right? That's why Esau, in this trick bag right now, it's really comedy. To sit back and watch this devil run around in this rat race that he's running. And we know his end is destruction. His end is fire. His end is under us, serving. Right? Hey, shalom to the brother Tassad, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, shalom to the brother Yalad, Amath, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, to both of you brothers. Alright? See what else the brother got. I'm going to get a little bit more, and I'm going to get what I got. Okay? But the Most High is declaring the end from the beginning. Alright, and we get to another light, man. So it's whenever you want to know, it's like you putting together a timeline. And we're no longer lost. Okay? We're no longer guessing. We're no longer in a delusional spirit, because we once were in a delusional spirit in the world. We were chasing whatever America, appealed to us. You was chasing this, chasing that, putting your time in all of this. You wasn't in the world. You wasn't putting your time into doing lessons, man. Okay, you wasn't reading the Bible like that. You wasn't studying. You was doing whatever your flesh wanted you to do. And that's how you was moving. But we know ultimately Yahawah declared a time frame for whoever you are to wake up. Or if you don't supposed to, he declared a time frame for you not to wake up, for you to be in that delusion to your destruction. But he also declared a time for you to come and hear the truth and to accept it or deny it. And he put into your spirit the opportunity to really, not opportunity, put in your spirit if you're going to accept it or deny it. I got to get that Ephesians 1 because it's predestinated. So you can't really beat at somebody like get it in, get this. Nah, man, you gonna know maybe off the first week or two if they gonna get it. But this my aunt, man. You know, I love her. This my favorite aunt. She make the sweet potato pie. Nah, bro. She just ain't meant to get it. You know? Or maybe she'll get it later on, but you really don't know. And it's like, we ain't car salesmen. Nah, car salesmen I'll lower the price. I'll make this however money down. Or what. No, we're not doing that. We don't have to do any of that. This is the truth. Right? And the truth is the truth. And it speaks for itself. You know? So we don't have to make we don't have to make none of that. We what? Isaiah 58:1. Alright? We going out, we crying out loud, we sparing none, we letting them know their transgressions and their sins. You know it, you want to turn back, or you don't want to turn back. Regardless, what was declared for the earth to burn up, for Babylon to burn up, for the sinners of his people to die by the sword, alright, Amos 9 and 10, that's already declared. And that's going to happen. That's going to come to be. Alright, good one, Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Who? The elect, the remnant. And strength of salvation, the fear of Yahawah is his treasure. To fear Yahawah is a treasure for us. It's wisdom. It's money. Fearing Yahawah is currency. Because wisdom is currency. Right? Wisdom, you can have $1 million and you don't have the wisdom to keep it, you'll be broke tomorrow. But you have the wisdom to know how to, not spend it crazy, maybe invest, put it here, put it there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then you could make it flip. Going back to the talents, some individuals don't have the wisdom because they don't truly fear Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. So they've been woke up and Yahawashi would give them a talent, but they didn't have the fear, they didn't have the wisdom to flip that talent, to make it double or to make it, quadruple. They didn't have the fear. So you was given the truth, but you didn't have the fear. You fell, you was a seed sown in those thorns. And all the distractions of the world, and you just fell back like, yeah, I got the truth, but it ain't no but after that. You have the most valuable piece of information on this planet, man. Right? Above anything that you want to talk about, anything. Right? And you saying but, or you not acting on it. And Yahawashi is what? He's going to take that talent from you. He's going to take that truth from you. And he's going to give it to somebody that was really going hard with it. As we saw, that one talent got took and given to the one with 10. Because he had the fear of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. And that is to him as a treasure. So his treasure was able to grow. Right? Keeping it going. Brother said, I had a dream a few weeks ago about a couple tigers trying to get in my house. I closed the door. Yeah, man, hey, yeah, I had that dream last night, man. Hey, that's crazy. You should have did a video on that one. But it is what it is. I gotta look into cats. I always been scared of cats, man. I don't know. Hey, speaking as a man, I think I was in Egypt or some shit. Cause I'm scared of cats. They just got weird eyes, man. Alright, but keeping it going. Proverbs 21:30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against Yahawah. You can't surprise him. Okay? There's nothing you could do to surprise him. There's no Esau always having these think tanks. They're always having these situations where the WEF, that's a think tank. Right? They're coming together and they're plotting, they're scheming, and they're making all these plans, schemes, plots against the Most High. Okay? And all that's gonna fall, all that's gonna fail, as we know. So we're not in the slight phased by the MOTB, by digital system, or any of that coming to be. Okay? I was watching The Boys last night, and it's funny how Yahawah uses, but that's in the scriptures. Let's get that now that I'm at my spot. Let's go to Psalm 64. And 1 second, I gotta make sure this is the right spot. Good. Yep, I'm at the right spot. All right. This is Psalm 64. And let's start at the top. Hear my voice, O Yahawah, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemies. Of the enemy. Now, who's the main enemy? Esau, Edom. Okay, the so-called YT man. Right? And we have other enemies, yes, of the other nations. Okay? Psalms 83 crew that are confederate against us. Really, any other nation. Okay? And then we even got enemies of our own nation. 2/3 individuals that don't accept this truth. They don't care. And they want to buck up and go against us. Right? Individuals that came in, you know the names, you know the truth, etc. But you're teaching a different way. You are making yourself an enemy. Right? If you're on the battlefield and you're fighting against us, then you're an enemy. Okay? So that's what you are. So preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Preserve my life from fear of these wicked ass 2/3 of these other nations, these individuals. They might have might and power and strength. Okay? They got guns, they got ammo, they got all that, whatever. Doesn't matter. We are preserved from the fear of those individuals, using wisdom and knowledge and having the fear of Yahawah. So the statement is, why would I fear you when I fear someone greater? Okay? And you fear your little wrinkly ass God. You fear Buddha. You fear Allah. You fear Hinduism. You fear, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are not real. So I fear the true living God. All right? And the wisdom that he gives me is far greater than anything that you could get. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay? Secret counsels. Like we stated, these think tanks, these WEFs, these, you already know. I ain't gonna mention them, you know what I'm saying? But we already know, these secret societies, right? Just as a conglomerate, you can call them the Illuminati. Okay? Whatever you want to call them. So hide me from the secret council. That goes into all these plans they got, these FEMA camps and all of that. That's why I was stating, I was watching The Boys. On that show, they have what they call freedom camps, where anybody that's a starlighter, it's like somebody going against the main regime that they have set up. Then you are targeted as a terrorist, and you are thrown into those freedom camps. Right? And that we know that to be the red and blue list. So they're showing you that on a show, a TV show. Okay? So going back to Yahawah declaring the end from the beginning, and that's also making Esau stumble on his own tongue. He's putting what's about to happen, using these Edomites in their little studios and all of that, making them bring forth their plan. And that's we saw that as kids all the time. Watch Kim Possible, watch Phoenix and Ferb, watch all these shows. The villain is always going to talk about his master plan. Oh, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. He always does it. Esau is the villain. He's the same individual, man. So it's the same recipe. We in the clutches of the villain right now, and he's talking about his master plan. That's why we see in these shows camps, freedom camps, right? We see the digital AI. We see, you look at Ex Machina, Subservience, iRobot. You look at all these little shows, man, with transhumanism in it. He's telling us his master plan right now. And he's like, you can't stop it. And then we somehow get freed. And that's Yahawashi coming back. Okay? So this is just a basic cartoon show, right? But it's far grander than any of that. But it's the same arch. of good versus evil, righteous versus wicked. Right? That's showing you everything comes from the scriptures. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And that could be also even your family members plotting to come up against you, because that's what's gonna happen. Okay? You know, they let's say, man, your cousin, he get offered 10K on some information on where you at when we in Jacob's trouble moving as pilgrims. He call you up, hey bro, you know, hey man, I'm really thinking about that truth. He try to set you up. You know? You're like, oh, I you know, hey. Boom, pull up, FEMA, all right, ICE, all that, rolling with them, trying to catch you. Yahawah ain't gonna let that happen to us, man. Or if it do happen to us, he gonna get us up out of those situations. But it is gonna be people that we trust that's gonna come at us in those type of ways, man, to take us down, all right, over a little bit of digital currency, okay? They're gonna have that chip, and they're going to be aligned with the beast system. Verse 3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. These laws, Constitution, all this type of stuff that they writing up, draconian measures. They spoke as a dragon, okay? So, you know, they're going to hit you first in the law book where most Israelites don't look. And then you be like, I didn't know that was a law. Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to use that as a justification to hem you up and take you down. Okay? Hey, Esau loved contracts. He loved hitting you, and they show you once again in the shows, because he's that villain, in the small, tiny print. Okay? You didn't read that small, tiny, microscopic print at the bottom of the page that said you can't teach the Bible on the street. Boom. You know? Oh, I didn't know that law was passed. This is why as watchmen, we gotta know what's going on. Right? And these type of laws are coming. They already have these laws existing in China. I was talking to a brother yesterday, and I gotta check it. You know, I believe the brother said Canada and possibly Australia. Okay, where they're talking about you can't read the Bible openly. You know? And I gotta check it though. But we know that these things are coming, so expect it, right? Because they want to hit us, all right? And that's all tying up to Yahawah declaring it he's declaring it in from the beginning, Amos 8:11, a famine of the word. So we already know it's got to happen. So we already know that these type of laws have to come, right? Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? When they do these laws, especially these corrupt laws, they do them at midnight. They do them on the night of the Super Bowl when everybody drunk. Okay? You know, because you caught up with the bread and circus. Or they'll do it on the NBA Finals when you out drinking or something like that. That's why you gotta, you know, they want to catch you like that. They want to catch you off guard. All right? And then you'll find out the next day or the other day, Congress met last night at 11:35, and they passed a law saying that you can't carry weapons no more, some bullshit. All right? But this is what they do. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Going into even everything that we go after, everything that we do, they put sin in it. They try to put sin in everything. Food, you know, TV shows, whatever. You might be liking a damn show. All right? Man, I was liking that show, The Shy. All right? I like season 1, season 2, and I believe season 3, they put a damn trans in the show, man. I was like, man, turn this shit off, man. I ain't watching this shit no more. All right? So I don't watch that show no more. But that's what they'll do. They'll put their agenda in it and fuck up the whole vibe, man. You know? Let me see what y'all brothers got on the board. Hebrews 4:11. Let us labor therefore, and shalom to my brother and do it all. Let us labor therefore to enter into the rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. All these ways that Esau is putting out, Don't let you fall off the path. Don't let you fall off the path and fall into this stuff. And fall into the gradualism. Because this place has gradually got worse and worse and worse. You know? So you got to remain steadfast, unmovable, bold. These all are synonyms. You got to remain in that way. Okay? Because Esau is once again searching out iniquities, and he's accomplishing a diligent search, and he's putting it in everything. And this says what? They accomplished the diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Every single Edomite. And yeah, you may be like, well, your West Virginia Edomites, they don't know shit. They may not know shit based upon that, but they'll still take you in the woods, hang you and eat you. Okay? So, yeah, they may not know how to put chemtrails in the air, but they still wicked as fuck, man. All right? So don't put it past. Well, not these Edomites. Not these Edomites. No, man. Every single one of them. It's like their products, their items, and their purpose is to be wicked. This is a car. Its purpose is to move me from point A to point B. I'm not going to expect it to fly. You know, I get on a plane for that. So you want wickedness, you go to Esau for that. You know what I'm saying? That's his purpose. That's how the Most High created him. So when he created him, declaring the end from the beginning, he created this, he called him the wicked. So that's his purpose. So we know in the beginning he was wicked. At the end he's going to be wicked. Does the Most High change? Does Yahawashi change? No. So the purpose of the item will not change. All right? Verse 7. But Yahawah shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. That's what's happening. We're looking at them now. Okay? You got to go because you can't make a deal. Well, you actually made a deal, a ceasefire. But then another one of your people, your clan, the head of your tribe, the head of your, not your tribe, but the head of your nation, the Amalekites, they couldn't maintain the deal. All right? So now you're forced to fight again. You're forced to break the ceasefire. And now you got to figure out another means. Because the Amalekites is basically like, nah, fuck that. We don't want no peace. We want war. Now, who is that coming from? Yahawah is putting that in them. To continue the war. Ain't no ceasefires, man. So, this is war. So, for you Americans, that's like, oh, they've been doing this for years. This always happens. It's just gonna settle down like it. No, it's not settling down this time. This ain't no settling down point. They fight. You know? They fight. And this is gonna intensify. Because a fight like this intensifies and intensifies and intensifies and intensifies till it gets to nuclear level. And nuclear level is what we are telling you is gonna transpire. Alright? That's where it has to reach. That's where it has to go. It ain't no chilling back. The least of the flock shall draw them out. The Amalekites, all right? Who you call the Ish, you know? Any signs of peace, they gonna mess it up. It's what was that? What was that movie? What's that movie with Andre 3000? He was like, "Don't give me no gun." You know, it's like basically, I'm gonna mess it up. All right, he about to mess it up. That's Esau. Verse 8, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Who runs the industry? Music, movies, entertainment in general. Amalek. Who is the executive producers behind most of these shows? Amalek. Who's having a say-so of make a show about robots, make a show about transhumanism, make a show about homosexuality, make a show about child trafficking, Euphoria, make a show about, right? Who's doing that? Okay. I was watching, once again, going back to The Boys, season 5, episode 2. He said in the show, he said, Starlight, these Starlighters are drinking blood. They're trafficking children. I was like, dang, he said that in the show. Like, that's what y'all do. So it's right there. They're bold, man. You know, they're putting their wickedness out there. And they're laughing. It's like a ha-ha moment for them. Right? So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they do it in that way. And then they also do it by real true blue whistleblowers. Okay? You got true blue whistleblowers that really hate, you know, they don't, you know, they trying to tell you. And then you got chaos whistleblowers who are crisis agents, individuals out there sent to cause confusion. You know? So it's all out there. You know what I'm saying? They coming from both sides, every side, right? Like the Charlie K, I call him Charlie Sheen, that individual. Okay? You know, regardless if he dead or not, you know, it look fake, it's fake as hell, whatever. But he was a chaos agent, sent out there to cause chaos and to raise the tensions on a racial war. What they want is a racial war, a civil war, and they also need a war over there in the valley of Yahawashi. And this is what Yahawah is bringing. He's ordaining. They may think that they're doing these things so they can go into their bunkers, etc., but we know the conclusion because he has already declared the end from the beginning. All right. Matter of fact, let me finish this up, then I'm gonna get Jeremiah. This is verse 9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahawah, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Everybody is going to know that Yahawah did this. Okay? That Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi did this. It ain't going to be no, well, the nukes. No. It ain't going to be none of that. When you see that spaceship, all right? And we was driving back from San Diego the other day. And we saw this cloud. It had to be miles long. Okay? Like, as far as my eye could see that way, okay? And it was like square, like a straight line on the top. And I was talking to my rib like, yo, that's what it's gonna be like, but far bigger. It was a massive cloud on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? It was just massive. It was beautiful, right? It ain't gonna be no denying when you see that spaceship. This ain't no Project Bluebeam. You know, they can't Project Bluebeam Yahawashi. Okay? They do some shit. They do some fake shit, but nah. You know what I'm saying? And them laser beams ain't gonna be no Project Bluebeam. Trust and believe that. You know what I'm saying? So, this devil, he's gonna be done, man. Everybody is gonna fear. Everybody is gonna know. Verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in Yahawah and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Going back to those that fear Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, right? Those that have the fear. That's what the wisdom and the knowledge is going to be their stability. If you don't got that fear, then you ain't going to get the wisdom and the knowledge. You never had it. You're not going to be stable in these times. You're going to be unstable, right? You're going to be out here fearful and scared for your life, man. Let me see what the brother got. Amos 9 and... yeah, I got to get that whole section. Let me go get that. I'm about to wrap it up. Amos 9 and 8 going to 10. Behold, the eyes of Yahawah power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahawah. Okay? Declaring the end from the beginning once again. So we know what's going to take place. He's going to destroy the sinful kingdom. He's going to take it off. All right? And it's never going to rise up again. Okay? So keep that in mind. He's not going to utterly destroy the house of Jacob, so he's not going to destroy every single Israelite. Verse 9, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. We had to be scattered among all nations for him to do that. So he's declaring the end from the beginning. So that everything the pieces had to fall in the line. We needed the British, the French, the Portuguese, and the Spanish, and the Dutch to do what they did, to come and capture the northern kingdom over here, you know, and to bring the Southern Kingdom. We needed that to happen. We needed the transatlantic slave. We needed the Arab slave trade. We needed the Indian Ocean slave trade. We needed all of that. Okay, the scattering had to be in that sense. It had to be a massive scattering of Yahawah's people, man. You know? So the once again, the book had to take place. The chapters you had to read the chapters. If you ever read a book, man, it's a rewarding feeling. You know? To go through, especially a big book. I used to read, you know, them Harry Potter books, man. Like 800, 700 pages. But it was a rewarding feeling because it's real, like, you know, it's hard. It hits. It's like, yo, you was way back here. Now you way over here. And that's how it is for us spiritually. We used to be way over here. Now we here. And we seeing stuff that we used to, you know, hear about a long time ago. So living a book, that's what we're doing. We're living out a book. Verse 9 again, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sheaf, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. That means every single elect member, all the remnant is going to be saved. All right? He ain't forgetting no remnant left behind. Right? Verse 10, all the sinners of my people shall die. So this is a division. You got sinners, and you got, as we just read in the Psalms, all the upright and righteous of my people, right, shall rejoice, they shall be saved. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. You could get that also in Zechariah 13, 8 and 9, right? 2/3, 1/3, okay? So, bow yow, you know what I'm saying, to you Christians, man, okay? Right there. That's letting you know now that he don't love everybody. He's not dealing with everybody. Okay? Is justice one-sided? Is justice biased? No. Justice is balance. That's what real justice is. Right? I'm gonna get a little bit more off the board, man. Wrap it up. Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Right? If that's your purpose, then that's your purpose. You can't change an unclean thing into a clean thing. If your lot was to be wicked from the beginning, then that's your lot. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High predestinated you. He created you that way. He wanted you to be that way. That's your lot. That's your situation, man. You know? Really, the only thing you can do is fast and pray. All right? And just hope. And that's faith. You know what I'm saying? Look at Judas. Judas was sent out 2 by 2. He went out, he preached, he did what he did. But then, it was his lot for Satan to enter into him. You know, that was his lot. It is what it is. Look at Saul. Saul, the Spirit went into Saul. Saul had the Holy Spirit once upon a time. Right? That's the thing. He was made the king. He was anointed by Samuel. Samuel loved him. You know? Yahawah loved him. Alright? But he already knew it. And you can look at it how he told us when he said, y'all want a king like the other nations? Alright, y'all gonna have a king. And he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. He's gonna take the best of your goods, the best of your land, the best of he's gonna take, you know, because y'all want a king like the other nations. Right? And what did Saul end up acting like? He acted like the other kings from the other nations. He believed that his power, the power was in his hand. You know? He stopped really believing in Yahawah. And he stopped believing in Yahawah's men. Because he stopped really believing in Samuel. Alright? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, wrapping it up right there, man. Alright? He declared the end from the beginning. All we got to do is wait it out. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, just regardless, hey, a lot of stuff may happen during the waiting period. But we know we about to be seen. You know, we know our reward is in that room. We in the waiting room right now. You call this thing hell. Call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? It is that spiritual, that you know, that condition. Yeah, we are in a condition of hell. We going through hell, etc., etc. That's what may happen in the waiting room. But we know when our number is called, when we get to go see the doctor, which is Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and we get healed, we get those everlasting bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. It was worth the wait. And it's already been declared, right? So I hope that this, was exhorting. I hope this was edifying, man. All right, through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. As always, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone. As always, ate the water for you brothers on the comment board, man. So like y'all couldn't get all the comments. You know, y'all drop them like hot fries, man. But the water. All right, keep the faith. As always, Kwame Yasha'Allah and Abad Babar. Shalom.